Hello, hello. It's Jen here. I'm hoping that the sound is going to work on this. It's a little bit loud with the ocean, but I really wanted to take you guys to the beach again. I'm back at Stinky Surf School, and last time someone commented, "Where am I?" I'm in Mexico. I am in near Puerto Vallarta, actually, on the west coast. So if you're ever down here, Stinky Surf School. So a few shout outs, but here's one, which is letting me right now enjoy the shade of the surf school tent here on the beach. I'm actually just looking at the ocean, and I'm gonna go for a little walk and give you guys a different perspective. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about kind of where I left off in the last video, which is about confidence. How do you get it? Where does it come from? And I actually wrote down notes so that I could be like focused and this could be all like planned out. And of course, I don't have them. So I'm just gonna wing it and see how this goes. I don't even know if the sound's gonna work, but we'll see. So, okay, I'm gonna go for a little walk. Let's talk about confidence. So first things first is I think that there's a couple things. Just gonna get into it. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm Jen, if you don't know who I am. If you're new here, and if you like this stuff, please support my channel, like and subscribe and share the love. So yeah, that's it for now. Oh yeah, there's like a little ring button if you want notifications, so hit that. YouTube likes that apparently. Okay, so beach. Yay, ocean. It is really freaking hot, by the way. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about confidence and how that directly has to do with dealing with other people in the lineup. How do we deal with people? And a lot of it actually has to do with the energy we carry, which directly has to do with the confidence we bring. So I'm just going to first name a couple super like obvious things. Things like one, knowing your gear. So if you're on a surfboard that you know, that you're comfortable with, versus if you're renting a new board or if you're trying a new board for the first time, you're gonna feel a different level of confidence. It's pretty obvious. Second thing that's pretty obvious is just like your own abilities, right? So let me go this way and see if, there we go, beach. So again, just knowing your abilities, knowing your skill level, of course, is a part of it. And then, you know, you can say 2B is, or, 3 is on top of that, having more experience. So of course, like more experienced surfers, you're going to be naturally more confident, right? Because that's just something that you get over time. And also related to that is your ability to really read the ocean, right? So with experience comes time. You start to develop a really good sense of what does a slow wave like? What does a fast wave look like? What does a point break look like? And you start to just over time, like develop a sense of skill and understanding, right? So all of that in your arsenal automatically lifts your confidence. Okay. I think those, I might have missed a couple, and if I did, I'm actually going to list them. I'm actually going to this video, and I believe I'm going to be posting it as well on my friend Jess's blog for her obviously wonderful, what did I say obvious? I don't know, for her awesome bikini line called Hakuna Wear. So I'll post links to that stuff too. So I'm going to write all this stuff down, even the stuff I've forgotten to say, because I'm sure there's stuff I forgot to say. So that's the obvious stuff, or the obvious stuff I can remember. I want to talk a little bit about the not so obvious stuff. And this is where things get a little more tricky, because these are things that are really, really important. They really, really matter, but we don't often think about them. So the first one is, in the last video, I talked a lot about strategy. And I talked about how we could read other people because of their behavior and all of that kind of stuff. And if you haven't seen that, I'll link it somewhere up here or there. I don't know where, but it'll be linked somehow in the little cards or down below. But the thing is that other people are applying their reading strategy on you and on me, right? So depending on how I show up in the lineup is my behavior, my energy, and also the things that I do. So my direct actions and behavior is going to impact and influence how other people treat me and see me in the lineup. People are going to judge you. And that's actually normal. We all judge other people, right? So I judge people surfing all the time. I judge people to know who's a beginner, who knows how to control their board, who doesn't know how to control their board, so that I can be safe. And also it gives me a sense of strategy of where I'm gonna go and where I choose to put myself in the lineup, right? So just as I'm applying a strategy, other people, and it's really important to be aware of how other people are applying strategy to you, how they're reading you. So your actions, your behavior, your energy is actually a really huge impact on how you're received in the lineup. The other thing that is not obvious but important is your being authentic in your energy. And what do I mean by that? Okay, so a lot of people say, you know, I'm not super competitive, and this is me. If this is you, if you're naturally competitive, you might not have this issue. But this is specifically for people if you're like me, who I always felt like, you know, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get in there because I naturally don't feel like I want to force myself into the lineup. And I don't naturally have like an overly competitive drive. So I was always like, what do I do? I'm not competitive. And I don't want to feel like I'm an asshole, right? So one thing that I just wanted to say is that the energy you carry doesn't have to be competitive. And I just wanted to state for the record that competitive energy does not necessarily equal catching more waves or being more well received. What I found is I have a certain energy I carry as a person. I love to cheer people on. I love to flirt in a lineup. And I also love to catch waves without apology. I like to go for the waves I want and also let other people have the waves that I don't really care about. And I like to have a lot of fun. And so I like to bring my own vibe to the lineup. And I actually found that the more I actually embody that, the easier it is for me to get in there and catch waves. And what happens is it's like I'm embodying my own synergy. I'm embodying my own just sense of who I am and how I carry myself. And that in itself is the authenticity I'm talking about. And it's highly underrated, but it is so important. Like I can tell you, for me, it has been a major game changer in my own surfing game and how I carry myself. The other part that's not so subtle, and it's connected to this as well, is just like when I talked about giving yourself like a check-in, you know, like I have some days where I know I don't want to ride my shortboard. I don't have a sense of the energy that I need to bring when it's busy and maybe a little hectic and I'm on my shortboard. It's a different kind of energy than if I'm surfing little peelers here behind me at like on my longboard, right? I don't even know if these peelers are, well, they're surfable, but that's another story. But what I'm saying is I have to check in with myself and really feel like, where am I at? Because where I'm at is the energy that I also carry into the lineup. And if it doesn't match what the conditions are and what I'm prepared to carry and embody, then it's not going to end up super fun. So I know that's a little bit of like a kind of a wishy-washy, kind of broad, hard to put your finger on it kind of topic. But it is something that I found really, really, really important. Okay. So what else? Communication. Using your voice. And this is something that I find interesting because for me personally, I usually used to not really use my voice unless it was something that like I was like in serious harm's way, and then I would freak out and yell at someone. What I learned is that it's actually much better for me to just speak up and be proactive about using my voice and boundaries and how I want other people to kind of treat me and be around me, rather than wait for something bad to happen, right? So what I mean by that, for example, if I see someone drop in on me and then they also paddle around me, back paddle me, and then try to do that again, I will just call them out and say, hey, you know, we don't do that here. Like, or, you know, I've heard this in the Women Who Surf group. It's great, where they call people out and say, hey, look, you know, it's my turn now. Even if that other person's in position, all those things, just being able to claim your space, use your voice. It doesn't have to be in a way that makes you an asshole. But guess what? We all have a right to surf. We all have a right to get waves. You know, I've also had to learn sometimes to drop in on that person and just say, boy. We're just here. We say, I'm going. Or I'll yell, I'm going. And then the action pieces I have to follow through. So if I say I'm going, it's really important that I go and I don't pull out and I try. So that's really another piece actually too. That ties in with the action piece that is obvious, but also sometimes kind of, I think I categorized that in the unspoken piece, because it is a little bit unspoken. Sometimes, not sometimes, often we don't realize that other people are really reading us in the way that they are really reading us, right? We feel the judgment, like the energy of the judgment, but we don't actually always feel the analysis. And what I actually want to encourage you to do is actually look at, like, how are people actually seeing and receiving my behavior as a surfer, trying to keep you and your stuff and all of the you know, belief systems out of it for a moment, and just like with neutrality, how am I behaving right now? You know, like, I have to check in with myself. Am I paddling for waves that I'm not getting? If someone sees me paddling for 10 waves and I haven't gotten one of those waves, they're going to assume that I don't know how to catch a wave, right? Which is a fair assumption, right? Those of my friends who know me and know how I surf might go, oh, you know, they might give me the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, she's maybe just having an off day, because they know that normally I will catch more than one wave in 10 waves that I go for. But they also, you know, we all have our days, right? So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. What else did I want to say about the energy stuff? Oh yeah, communication. So communication also means, you know, the obvious, which doesn't always get said, and also not waiting for other people to communicate. So if you want to go left and you're setting yourself up left, communicate. I'm going left. And then go left. You know, that kind of simple stuff is kind of obvious. But the reason why I put it in kind of the, like, not as obvious category is because I don't see it done a lot. And I'll often guilty of forgetting to do that, right? So that also allows you to own your space. Like, we talk about owning space, but, like, what does that actually mean? Like, what does it even look like? So for me, it's a few things. One is the energy that I bring and making sure I'm authentically in line with what my goals are and how I want to surf that day. And secondly, then communicating from that place of honesty, right? So if I'm kind of feeling chill and I don't really care about catching too many waves and I'm just kind of out there for a relaxing day, maybe, you know, yesterday was a really good example. I had moments of, like, lots of waves and then a little bit of, like, rest, and then lots of waves and then rest, because it's really hot here, right? So just pacing myself, which is fine, right? It's like being in alignment with that. And then also voicing when I'm ready to catch waves. I get in there, I get into position, and I'm really enthusiastic for going for, you know, what I want. And it doesn't have to be in a way that's assholey. It doesn't have to be in a way that's competitive. It doesn't have to be in a way that's pushy. The very last thing too, actually, this is a piece that I forgot to add, but it's important, is localism, right? So if you're a local to a place, you probably know the area, which is going to give you more confidence, but you also might have a an understanding of how you fit in the grand scheme of things too, right? So I just wanted to put that in there as well, because I know localism means different things in different places. And it's something, you know, when you're a visitor in a place, it can really affect your confidence level, right? Depending on your experience level. So if you have a lot of experience, if you've read lots of ways, if you've traveled lots of places, you probably have a lot more confidence going to a place that's new, versus if you have less. So if you're new, you're going to be a lot more cautious, right? So confidence. Confidence in 15 minutes or less. Actually, it's more than 15 minutes. Anyway, dears, lots of love to you. Again, if you love this stuff, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Share the love, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you would like to see more of, and also I would love you to share your own experience with how you deal with being in the lineup, how you deal with other surfers, some of your struggles, and also some of your wins. Okay, lots of love to you. Ciao for now from Punta de Mita. Mwah.